There's already somebody here. I'll be right back. 22 days, 20 hours, and 48 minutes until Christmas. 22 days, 20 hours. Yeah. Shit. You know what? I don't trust that one. I don't trust this guy. I'll be right back. Is anybody here? Merry Christmas. What's up, dude? I'm just chilling, drinking some milk. What are you up to? Be right back. Good morning. Meet a maid. Chilly cleaning the house. The kids will be up soon to head out for the day. Gonna make some bread. Cool. Alright, money. Oh, money. Did anyone show up? The Christmas tree does? The this this Christmas tree? Hold on. Got some diesel. That's not bad. Thank you. Yeah, that is a good nug. What are you guys doing today? Oh, bro saw the nugs. I did pretty good today emotionally, but yesterday was so rough. I think my emotions were like, oh, you don't have any emotions left. You gotta wait for it to recharge or something. I found out my buddy stabbed himself in the heart and killed himself 3 times. That sucks. He gave me this shirt back when I was homeless. It's really heavy, but I'm glad I'm not freaking out, you know? And then last week, my little sister tried to take her life before she was supposed to get on the train to come here. I haven't seen her since she went to foster care like 12 years ago. And a few weeks before that, my aunt died. And then a week before that, my other aunt, their sisters, right? Like my mom's two, like, only living freaking. So it's kind of been one thing after another. Yeah. Did you say, I know you, that how you feel, been dealing with some PS myself. My last good friend passed. That's tough. You know what's the worst is like, so like little, like I did a little research, and I guess if you have like a past of, thinking about that, and someone freaking close to you, like, does it or try it, it triggers your stuff, I guess. And that's what happened, because I've been pretty solid for quite some time now. Yeah, I just got to take it. Nothing we can do. Yeah, that's kind of what I ended up doing. I was having such a hard time. I just prayed. Then a few moments later, I was passed out. But so I was dealing with, I think, mania or freaking manic episodes. So you're like super bummed and sad and freaking out, and then it's followed by like super excited, right? A lot of energy, and yeah, it's like the freaking roller coaster, right? I'm just freaking sharing because I know I'm not the only person, and when you're done with the lows, just remember it can't rain every day, right? So just keep, working whatever job you got, and being alone, uh, it definitely can trigger a lot of raw emotions. I spent like most of my time, well, all the time that I lived in the woods, I was alone. So I've spent over a decade alone in the woods by choice, because the freaking prices in Tahoe, and I made a stand because I graduated from here, and I was like, man, just because I can't afford anything doesn't mean I should have to abandon shit. This is my town, right? And honestly, every time I go out and about, I still run into like locals, and we'll chat. But there's getting more and more people out. I'm like, dude, I've never seen you before in my life, and it's weird because I'm used to going to the store and like everyone's having conversations and shit. Now it's just a bunch of people you never seen before, and they're like fucking NPCs, bro. They don't talk to anybody. They're invested in their own like thing. So the communication in the small towns changed too. So imagine the way it used to be. You find out things through the word on the street or the grapevine, right? And now, and that was with the people that are there, right? That are seeing it. Now, the grapevine is on the internet through friggin' Nextdoor and shit. And people go on there and they play the fucking telephone game, and they just make up their own shit. And everyone likes to speculate and everyone likes the drama. It triggers me, man, to see it. I had to, I had to delete fucking next door. I I think next door is where people that aren't from the place that they're signing up for, I think that's where they go to try to get the scoop. So you got all these Karens on there, like, I don't know. The type of people that I see on there, I feel like that's not the type of people you want in your community. Back in the day, fucking Truckee was like people would help each other out because we had to. Yeah, people are silent these days. Even in my rural area, 45 minutes from you, people just don't talk anymore. People are fake these days. They got their little. I'm not dogging. Like, we all use our phones, right? But it's crazy that you can talk to someone and they'll be on, like, they got their earbuds, their wristwatch, and they'll be like scrolling, doing day to day stuff, like at the store, for an example. And I was starting to do it too. And those years that I was freaking homeless, right? I, my life wasn't centered around a phone. I took selfies. I took selfies and posted on Facebook. At Facebook, even, is you got freaking Truckee, like Tahoe freaking people, and it's like a business, the Facebook group, and people advertise and all that. And it's super toxic, dude. I'm toxic for that shit because I'll be toxic on the ass, you know what I mean? Because I see something and I'm like, oh, da 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 da, right? Giving my opinion as someone that's from here, right? And the moderators or whoever, it'll cause a ruckus. Like, for instance, like 8 years ago, I was on Facebook and everyone's cats were getting snatched up. So I said, why don't we get Fish and Game to set a bounty? And we pop the coyotes and we thin down the populations around here. If you're tired of losing your cat, I see so many people posting for their cats. Like, okay, well, let's fight them back. Like, let's put a bounty and have the men go out there. Dude, they were like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean shoot them? That's, you know what I mean? Uh, Same with my community, Mr. Toe. And I know Truckee used to be a fun place. I get weird vibes in Truckee now. To see my dog and get out of Dodge. Do you know what's crazy? So coming from a homeless man that's from here, they they had like a $75 million Truckee nation project, and one of the writers for that, he like tased like one of my buddies because he was sleeping in the bush because the resource freaking center used to be at the vet hall by the tilting rock up by the freaking veterans hall, and there's like they hated the homeless, right? So all this money coming in here, and it like incentivized the cops to like change up their modes, you know. Like we got a couple different new chiefs in the last decade, and each one you can tell they just get more and more corporate. I feel like when they do that, bro, they're like selling out their own people. It's like, I had a buddy Ariel, and he passed away last month. I think a lot had to do with they put him in freaking low income housing over here. And then people called the cops on him 134 times in a year. That's every 3 days or so. Isn't that crazy? Well, yeah, let's talk about something. Let's talk about something, Hammer and Nails. You can tell me about your projects that you got going on. Okay, so there's more to that story. Sorry, I just space cadetted some good weed. So bro was getting like prescriptions and stuff and drinking taka, and he kept living like he was in the streets, but in his new apartment. They just built those apartments, and they put everyone in there, and everyone that didn't get fucking put in there, it was like shooting fish in a barrel, fucking for the cops. Because if you drive through fucking Chucky now, you won't see any homeless anymore. They disappeared them all at Kings Beach, and they put all the fucking resources there because that's fucking Placer County and stuff, and the sheriffs are there. Here is Truckee PD and Nevada and Placer actually, and so they put all those guys in a new environment, and they know each other, so they'll square up with each other. But Placer, man, they don't play. They'll fucking they'll throw your ass in jail, and you won't ever see dude again, because the jail here, they arrest you and then they send you down the hill to Roseville and Auburn, which is hella far if you're on foot. So you literally have to hitchhike back to Tahoe. Isn't that crazy? What I usually do if I ever get in jail, I get out and then I walk to Home Depot. I just call Boss Man. I'm like, hey, Boss Man, I just got out of jail. I need a ride. I was in Reno in 95 in Vegas. That's cool. Building a studio. I learned to be a guitar. Luther? What's Luther? Yeah, it is nuts. But yeah, back to the communications, right? So we used to tell, quote unquote, fucking campfire stories, right? And all of that, and in a sense to where we would talk amongst each other. And now all your friends are gone, and then you got to reconnect with these NPCs, right? As we're our friends, were those the other players in the game? But the real ones out there at school, because you don't even have to say anything. You can just look by their actions, right? And then there's we're all fucking solid in some ways, but not so much in others, right? You guys want to see something cool? Did anyone count them? Did anyone count my freaking nutcrackers? There's the other tree. I guess that's the Disney tree. That's the Disney tree, I think. Kermit. I didn't even know Kermit was there, honestly. It's a Christmas Kermit, I think. Yeah, count them. Oh, yeah, we got that one. On. Got some. Shit, this guy keeps falling. This one might be possessed, honestly. Because it keeps jumping at me. Let's see here. I don't know what the theme is for this guy. We got Snoopy. Or that's Scooby Doo. That's Scooby Doo, right? Is that Scooby Doo? Mm. Oh shit, that's fucking real, bro. Guys, that fucking dove's real. He's- Do you guys see that bird? Oh, fucking crazy. I will call you three cheese. Oh. Um, hold on, we got bugs. But hold on a second. I was gonna buzz out the other. Oh my god. I did exactly what I wasn't supposed to do. What the fuck is all this shit? Alright. Apparently I have to put. Okay. We gotta do surgery. Do you guys know this guy? Apparently I have to put his head back on together. Let's see how I want to do that. What am I needing for this job? I mean, I almost drill it out, right? I gotta drill. I'll deal with it later. I haven't had a Christmas tree in 10 years, but I'm feeling it this year. Hell yeah, where did you say that you're from? Or is it 45 minutes? So like Placerville? Or something? I go down to freaking Swansboro sometimes. Wait, so you know what Casa Baeza is, right? You know what Casa is. 89. South Dakota ain't 45 minutes away. Super glue the head. I'll be fine. Okay, guys. Here. I guess this is kind of entertaining, isn't it? Just got challenged. What's this motherfucker doing? Oh, I love Loyalton and Sierraville. I love all that shit. But not so much Portola. Just joking. Portola is kind of depressing to me. I almost moved there in fucking Antelope, on freaking Antelope Valley. Or wait, that's fucking Loyalton. Sorry, I'm tripping. Alright, let's figure this out. Sorry. Hey, don't trip. My ID is yeah, I'll just go for it. Portola is very depressing. I'm deleting my personal area when I'm. Oh yeah. Definitely do that. Yeah. Hold on. Let's fix this guy. It's Christmas. Yeah. That's my side. Not my third. Wait, he's gonna be alright. I have this here. Maybe I can help you. I see you waking up with him. It's kind of funny, isn't it? There's some tape. I was cooking when Death Top Show came on. I had to be there though. Yeah, he's pretty entertaining. I mean, I like him as a person. I don't like some of the things he did. That's kind of how I found out about him. Because I'm like, oh, this guy's. But then I realized after like vetting him out, I was like, yeah, he might have came across as a dick, but he was doing it like out of a place of concern, and he was trying to like not expose the homeless people, but expose Karen Bass and that how she wasn't taking care of business and helping them. So then I was like, oh, okay, he's just trying to get some awareness, you know? I don't know. How old are like you guys? How old is everybody? Um, almost 40. Oh, so you like me. But to me, like, I feel like age isn't the same anymore. I feel like we're like everyone in the world's the same age right now. In the sense, as in like we're all in this time. That because age is time, so we're in the same age, same era. Even though the people that passed and even the people that are about to come, we're all in the same age. You guys know what I mean? I want to read you guys a book. Do you want the Polar Express? Here. All right. So yeah, some books. Where you guys at? Bam. These are just Christmas books though. You got the Nutcracker. You got Frosty the Snowman. Hold on. Shit. I gotta fly, Santa, fly. The Smurfs in the toy shop. Prancer. What is he? Kitten. Why Christmas trees aren't perfect. Yeah, that's a good one. Or the snow angel. Ernest Niester's Christmas. The Joys of Christmas. Didn't really zoom in. This is actually a book. This is a celebration in 3D. Sounds fucking revolutionary, huh? Here we go. Damn. I thought Alien was gonna be here. He said he was gonna come. Is Spencer here? And where's Hammer and Nails? You guys ready for Christmas? All right. In the little village in the snowy hills, the church bells ring and ring. Christmas time is here. Boom. Is that it? Is that the whole ass book? Oh, there you go. That's pretty neat. The children love the bakery, filled with holiday cakes and pies. All the shops glitter with toys and treasures. There's something special for everyone. But I guess tuning in for the. Oh, this gets pretty crazy, huh? At last, it's Christmas Eve. It's time to hitch the horse for the sleigh ride to grandmother's house. There's plenty of room for the family and all of the presents too. Whoosh. Whoosh. I like the sound effects. Shit, hold on. Grandmother's kitchen is cozy and warm, a perfect place to decorate gingerbread men. Soon it will be time to eat delicious Christmas meal. Bam. Now it's time to gather around the tree. The Christmas tree glows with flickering candles as each child opens one gift. Everyone is happy on this special night. It's wonderful to share the magic of Christmas. And then the ops slid through and they sprayed the block. Everyone knew what to do as... I'm just kidding. Have you guys noticed that literature used to always be like poetic? And then now it's about like drama and like suspense and mysteries and how do you tell you got some old Christmas stuff. It's really cool. Haven't seen them books since I was a child. What, what do these guys do? Nothing. Okay, so let's check out the top of Christmas. Use a little Christmas magic and just, you guys think I'm gonna make it to Christmas? How do you get through this? This is how I hold my pigeons. I learned how to hold my pigeons. Freaking, that's trying to bite me. Hold your pigeon like this. You don't want to hurt them. Yeah, you saw Mount freaking Rushmore. It's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, there's no comedy. Yeah. But then with like, movies, it used to be like lighthearted and fun. Now it's violence. I don't like to watch like, violent stuff. I just don't. I don't like horror. And then I look through freaking Netflix and I saw same shit, right? It's literally the same movie, but like 5 different ways. Do you guys think that freaking movies are gonna be a lot different soon? And what about Disney and the animators and all that shit? Are they gonna get replaced first by like, the freaking AIs? And are they gonna like, are the programs gonna be like super woke and like be better at pushing like subliminal stuff? I don't know. What do you think? I used to go there all the time. Mount Rushmore, huh? That kind of makes you. Once you get a tattoo of what? I hope so for the better. I want to wrap us here. Group of Sturgis. Oh yeah. I used to go there all the time. That's cool. Huh. Oh, Santa Claus here. These things are pretty cool. Why are you worried about me? Because I had a bad day and I shared it and shared how I dealt with it. I'm alright. Hold on. Oh, you didn't see me in Mass Live? Yeah, I was just kind of in my own little world. I'm considering picking at this little chicken. I was in there. There's so much fucking. I get it. I don't really know you like that, but I care about you. Not to be weird. Yeah, I get it. Like, I care about people I've never met before. My refrigerator sucks. Yeah, no cool shit in there. Bro, that's like a little snack. Bacons and carrots. What the hell? That's some random ass cookies, B. You know what sucks when you fucking try to share the way you feel about something, and then they're like, yeah, my grandmother's dead too. Like, you try to share, like, a fucking memory. A person that you're talking with always tries to one up you. Browder chips or crackers. And I'm just gonna eat straight cheese, I guess. It's kind of random. She live with brains. Yeah. There you go. Shit. Oh, the balls are gone. I'm starving. But sometimes I set up my phone and I forget about that I'm streaming. So I'm doing something. It's not funny. I was gonna eat cheese. That's crazy. Who the fuck just eats right out of cheese? You should do that. I'm from freaking Bumpus Mills. That's where I'm originally from, in Tennessee, in Stewart County. I miss it, but all, all of my freaking relatives, they're that care about me. That I care about. They're all dead. My family sent me off to Cleveland, Tennessee, to the boys' home there. So Stewart County is like West Tennessee. And I lived in Clarksville. I went to Clarksville like Academy from first grade to eighth grade, and then my mom died, and then my family sent me away so they could take all of my mom's stuff. My dad owned a bar on it's called this, like, a Smokey's Bar and Grill on Fort Campbell Boulevard. My mom used to own the like in Clarksville, racetrack. I'm 36. I wish I had another Mountain Dew. I wish I had another Mountain Dew right now. Bro, this actually looks like it's like an actual thing going on right now. Isn't that funny? That's funny. If you don't mind me asking, yeah, we are alone till no one comes.
Cupboard open. Jesus Christ, the light's shining right in my fucking face. In the bedroom.
Yeah, she's pissed. Oh, I wish I'm over me. Right, she was. I didn't know that you said it. They dropped dead when you walked in. Oh, it is now that you said it. I think that I was definitely muted. Yeah, fuck cancer. Yeah, that's how my mom passed, was freaking like on cancer. So yeah, my parents being dead kind of contributed to being homeless. Yeah. Instead of the love of, like, money. Yeah. It's a messed up world. I'm just really disappointed that there's not a real church around here. It kind of bums me out. Because you think there are. And then they get a chance to show their ass and show their true colors, right? They had a chance to embrace this guy, encourage him, but they chose to, like, shut him down and throw restraining orders at this guy. Not me, but this guy that I saw on the streets. Because he was kind of out there. Because that's a serious thing, you know. If a whole group of people go against you and they come at you with filing restraining orders, they use the police and lie and say you're on this and that, and they get you put in a mental institution. That's what happened to dude. They shot him up with all these antipsychotics. He got back out and came back over, and yeah, it's affecting his, way of thought, because he was obsessed, because he was angry, he was outraged, because all those people ganged up on him and they lied on him. When in the reality, they're in a position of, like, strength and power. They could have used that and been Christ-like. Pastor admitted to he used to be a joke. Like, I cannot find the place. They're near 4th Street. Good old 4th Street. I used to live at Diamonds. Good old Diamonds. Yeah, I used to live at Diamonds before they put up the fences. But the community there was actually pretty nice to me. That's one of those things, like, don't start no shit, there won't be no shit. And no one wants any problems. If you're not doing no fucking shiesty dirt, they like people from fucking Chucky. They're like, oh, Chucky, and they have good thoughts, And they're like, they want to be a good host, and they don't want to blow up the block, Just going to the office. Bread and Water Pre-Ministries is her name. Yeah, find them. Good folks. Wait, I know who you're talking about. You're talking about right by the Ramada. There's this guy, and he has, like, a gated yard, and he has his house, but he has, like, a bunch of cars in the back, and they call him Preacher. Is that who you're talking about? That's him, bro. They call him Preacher. Is that the guy? Yeah, bro. I'm just remember. I don't. Well, me personally, I don't believe that religion freaking saves a man. Um, and I don't believe it's in works either. I believe in. I believe in God's grace, and I believe in that He made a or like a sacrifice for us, and He died on the cross for our sins. And I trust that to cover my sins. And I believe if you ask God to come in your heart, He'll freaking save you. And because Christ died for our sins, right? For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves is a gift of God, not of works, the same man should boast. It's not saying that there won't be works, because there will, like fruit of the Spirit, right? But I feel like a lot of churches, they don't focus on that. They like focus on, pretending this and that. And if I'm, bro, if in all these freaking chances to, honor God and things I imagine everyone else gets the same freaking chances too, right? I can't be the Hollywood that someone's across my path and I'm like, oh, I should go pull that person out of the snowbank or something. Even though no one's watching, I don't know the guy. And even though I don't really like tourists, I'll still do it because, the Bible says, again, therefore all things, whatsoever that ye would that men should do unto you, do ye even so unto them, right? I honestly forgot their names, but they came from SoCal, moved to Reno a few years ago. Yeah, he's tall and skinny, huh? It's because they had a house across the street from the Ramada, so they're probably in that area, and it's him and his wife, right? And there's this other verse, like yesterday when I was freaking struggling, I got freaking scripture in my heart, right? So the Bible says that the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and though he, freaking may fall, he will not be utterly freaking cast down, because the Lord pulleth him with his hands. And that's cool. I hate how my girlfriend reacts to me being sad and stuff. I triggers her. She just doesn't know how to. She's mean as a rattlesnake. but she's also really nice. Sometimes, dude, it's like, that's why I'm by myself right now. I just need some. Sometimes it's easier to talk to strangers than the people close to you, because the people close to you, they know what they can say, I guess, and get away with it. And usually it's not so nice, you know? I mean, she's a good person, and she cares about me. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was kind of offended because when my sister tried to freaking take her life, I was kind of distraught the whole week, and she was like pissed off because freaking Thanksgiving came, and then the whole time she was like, "You should be thankful," and I'm like, "Yeah, but this happened. Like, I am thankful for you guys, but I'm like kind of caught off guard by this shit, you know?" You'd think that they'd understand, like not bust my balls, you know? But the reason I lived in the woods a long time is like, people can't, hurt you, or you don't have to have conflict with people. The only way you're gonna have conflict with people is if you're around people. Cousins, that's exactly how I feel. Why they're drug addicts. Yeah. It's weird when you try to push a person away, or like you react a way that is offensive, and you don't, like, you're like fucking relentless on getting your point across. And I'm just like, give me a break. It's like, let me process this. So sometimes it's good to be alone, because you can like step out of the box and be like, okay, this is what's going on, right? You can like go into the command center of your brain and figure some stuff out. Try to, get a grip on things and just accept this the way it is. This is how I'm gonna plan to deal with it. It's hard to do that when you're getting bitched at all the time over silly shit that's like not even every little thing, nitpick. I'm like, stop busting my balls. Well, then I go away, and then they're like, why aren't you hanging out with me? Why aren't you around me? Well, I remember when I was really sad and crying, and you were like basically screaming at me. that made me want to like, go sit in the car or go sit in the woods or go sit in another room. Hey, sorry, but I'll be here, but I gotta get my garage girl ready for school. You're funny. I don't know. I'm just rambling. If I go to sleep now, I can sleep for like 4 hours. Still make it to work. Or do I pull an all-nighter? I know I'm gonna feel like shit if I pull an all-nighter. And like I gotta work really hard tomorrow. It's not even working really hard, it's just showing you up. That's the battle, right? Family abandonment, I wouldn't wish that on my own enemy. I can care less. Even they did it too. But they're I'm on my own business. Fucking not. Damn right. What's fucked up about my family is they're from the South. And once my mom died and they sent me away to like a military school, that made the whole family like think I was a bad kid. And then no one came back for me. And so I ran away out here to finish up high school. And my biological mom was here, and she was a dancer at the Gentlemen's Club, but she ended up marrying a director of a ski resort. And I moved in with him, but he was a really bad drunk, and my mom loves drugs, and it didn't work out, so I was actually homeless during high school. The last year I had to live in the woods so then from that point I kind of set pace, because it's not like I could just, after things, like I got kicked out, because they wanted money. That's all they cared about. They wanted that social security check because I was adopted by my grandma, and I got social security because she was my mom. And my biological mom would just take all that money, dude. My grandmother used to send her like tens of thousands of dollars to like build me a room up on the fucking summit. My mom made a hot tub deck and put the plastic fucking sheeting around it with and like put it like a tent in there. I was like, this is your room. And had brunch there. As I'm a lady myself, I'd be escorted in by men only. Wow, crazy. Yeah. I graduated freaking valedictorian here in Truckee of 2006. And that was pretty cool. And I got my freaking black belt before my freaking grandmother died. before they freaking sent me away. So when I was in fucking military school, all they like to do is fight, and they like fucking wrestle and choke each other out. But I was a black belt, so I could like beat everybody, you know. And I was strong, and I wrestled with my cousins too, so I had the experience. Dude, I put them in the fucking like a rear naked choke and wrap my legs around them. I just fucking take them to the ground. I get their back, I choke them out, or wrap those legs around, and just choke them the fuck out and straighten out your back. I choke out anybody. Um, I had a bunch of really good chokes that you don't ever see on the fucking like UFC, but they work really good. Like, you know, I had a belt, JCPenney 399, right by the railroad tracks. The Amtrak picks you up in that lame ass bowling place next door to the Dome. At least you got skills in black belt, man. Yeah, fucking Shotokan's pretty cool. But the bad part is you couldn't actually fight each other, like punch and get angry. You guys could choke each other out and like roughhouse out in the field all you want. But if you react out of anger and you strike them in the face and like bust their shit open, you get punished for it. But yeah. Just because your family sucks doesn't mean that we have to suck, right? Yeah, yeah, that is true. The self discipline, like our dojo's creed is, I intend to use what I learned in class constructively and defensively, and to help myself and my fellow men, and never to be abusive or offensive. That's our like creed, right? Yeah, my freaking sensei in Clarksville, his name was like, David Bays, freaking senior. And it was like freaking 8th degree, right? And then in my early adulthood, like I went back and I was a sensei. And like, we had like 500 students at that time. And he took his own life. Had a beautiful wife, great business at the dojo. It's called Bays School of Karate. We're stronger than the ones who keep us out of their lives. Remember that? The people that try to keep us down. I just don't understand why my family wouldn't help me or like look for me. Like people go missing and their family freaks out. I've literally been fucking living in the woods since like 2005. And no one and I broke contact with everybody and no one ever looked for me. And I have a huge Irish Catholic family, dude. And once my grandmother passed, it was like they didn't have to care about me anymore. But I inherited like 20% of the real estate company and the jewelry store and the pawn shop. and the car lot, and um, like a bunch of other things. And that's why they sent me away, because I inherited so much. And they used my inheritance to pay for the fucking military school. And, it's fucked up. Like, they swindled me out of $200,000 to $300,000. And that's messed up, because they have excess of everything. They got like garages and barns and shit full of stuff that they never use, or that they don't care about. And I don't know, kind of like that's a reflection of their character, you know? I'm just surprised my family never looked for me. They never were like, was it because they gossiped amongst themselves and they just made their assumptions up? They're like, oh, he's probably just this and that. Um, I mean, I would like to know. I'd like to talk to them face to face and be like, why did you do this? Maybe they had a fucking, like a reason, Yeah, my grandmother died at 56 in 2002. I graduated in 2006. And my granddad was a city councilman and a sheriff. And he liked to beat on me and shit. So he beat on me like every day and stuff. And I think the reason that my family sent me away was because my grandmother, like me and my granddad, we all lived together. It's just us three. And one day I went to school at Clarksville Academy, and I was crying, and my shirt was ripped, and the school nurse asked me to pull up my shirt, and I was bleeding through my white shirt because of the fucking lashings. I bled through my shirt, and of course I have fucking lashings like all the way up and down, welts. I had old welts and new ones, but these ones tore skin to where like you'd almost have to like cut the shirt off of you because it was so like stuck to it. And what like alerted them or brought attention was because like that morning I was in the second grade at the Clarksville Academy, and I went in, and it was the first time I was ever late, and I didn't want to go into class at all. So I went right to the bathroom, and I just broke down and started crying. And my teacher, Miss Stone, was like, that's odd that I'm not there because I'm always there, right? And then they looked for me, or I guess they heard me, and they found me crying on the floor. I went to school, like everything was fine, shook it off, but then once the school nurse freaking saw that, and my dad's a sheriff, right? She made me tell her what happened. So, like, I was like, what do you think happened? Like, yeah. And at that time, I had a couple of fucking broken ribs, too. And my collarbone was fucking broke, too, at that time from him. And he, so they call CPS, and I guess the CPS immediately like came over to the school. They took all of the information, and then I go home, and basically the sheriffs go there, but not to arrest him or anything, but to like, because they work for my dad, right? So basically, like, they're debriefing him and CPS on like, okay, well, he has this other property over here across town, like a few miles away. So he just moved over there, and I would still go back and forth, right? Like, we were all still a family, but CPS like basically made him freaking move out, and my whole family was outraged that he had to move out of his own house. And I don't think they understood why, you know. But they all loved my granddad, and they like, and all of their children loved and respected him. So they thought I was the reason, like I made him do that or something. But yeah, my family didn't have my back when I freaking needed them most, and it sucks. It's hard. Like, it sets a pace, you know, for the rest of your life. Let's take a weight off your shoulders when you can comfort someone, not out of anger but understanding. I don't know. My mama had 80 acres and she sold it for $630,000. My dad tried to screw us over. My dad tried that too. I understand how evil people are. No gives a shit about anyone anymore. Um, I always stick up for myself, and I'll comfort anyone doing wrong. I don't put up with shit. Not these days. My skin is thick. I've been through some horrible stuff in life. Most would off themselves. That's how I feel. Um, I feel like that too. Like, if I ever get judged, I'm just thinking to myself, like, if you would have had to have, like, lived a year of my life, pretty much any of them, you would have killed yourself, bro. Like, I'm just glad I'm alive. And I'm here, you know? I mean, that's a miracle in itself, and it's even more like, you know, testament to God that not only did he sustain me, but he, you know, built me up and out. But at the same time, like, sometimes I miss the woods. I miss, like, going to a place and not having a single person be able to hurt me. And you don't have to worry about the bears or the wolves or coyotes or... Sometimes in this world, I feel like the most dangerous thing are people. Just the way they try to hurt each other and take advantage or whatever. You know, that's like the number one rule of fucking being homeless is you never tell people where you sleep. Why? Because people come fucking rip you off. So that's why I lived deep in the woods, because it was like the only way I could have a peaceful way of life. I get the melody. Some things I've suppressed though for 3 years, and I finally just went full force last year and took it all ahead. I feel somewhat liberated from it now. What did you take head on? Like, like you stuck up for yourself? Like somebody was freaking, you know, freaking treating you? Yeah, so you know how freaking isolating it is? Like, you'll meet friends on the streets, but you're like, okay, see you later. And then sometimes I would walk that way, and then I would circle around, and I'd go like the other way. My rule of thumb for being homeless was I never had trash around my camp. And most of the time, when I would go in and out of freaking cities on, explorations, I would do stealth camping, which is I'd take like a 65-liter pack, and that's like my kit that I have a sleeping bag, two pairs of socks, of like a pair of socks on me and a pair of socks in my pack, two pairs of underwear, like one pair on me and one pair in the thing, um, two pairs of pants, two shirts, and a couple hats, And the reason I had a 65-liter pack was every day I would get up, roll up the sleeping bag, put it in the bottom part of my bag because it's like, heavy and it sits good like that. And, I would go, so it's embarrassing, but so I would take freaking baths in the Truckee River, which is very cold. Um, Sometimes I stayed in fucking Grass Valley because it's a little warmer, right? My abuser was too young to get it then, and when I understood what happened to me, I drank it all away. But that's no way to live. We all cope in different ways. And just because you don't cope in a good, healthy way at a certain time in your life, it doesn't mean that you can't learn other ways to cope and try that too. And maybe it'll help, maybe it won't. But I feel like in today's age, we're all just, everyone's so distracted. Like, people can't, help you if they wanted to, right? Because well, I have to go pick this up. I have to go do that. I have to go to work. I have to, like, you know what I mean? Like, it used to be, you hear kind of like a commotion, you stop what you're doing, you go look to see what it is. Now, people can't hear the commotion because they got their earbuds in. But yeah, abusers suck. I've been with some very abusive, like, women that, but I learned something about myself is in those relationships, I was, you know, fucking codependent, and they knew it. Like, I wasn't happy if they weren't approving of me. Like, they didn't, like, if they weren't happy with me, I wasn't happy, and they figured that out, and they used that to manipulate me. And, like, the best way to, like, have a good relationship is you have to learn yourself, and you have to learn about the person. And if you're not willing to, like, know them, the good and the bad, past the fucking honeymoon, and you're like, if you're not willing to stand by them while they're struggling or whatever, encourage them or try to build them up, you just want to break them down all the time, eventually it's gonna, like, take a toll. But I don't know why people are so mean. worst premise job because they are the narcissists. They focus on you and take away what they truly are doing themselves, like projecting. Yeah, that's why you gotta hit them with a bag of oranges. I won't leave a mark. I will teach to have dinner on the table when you get home. Amen, brother. How does he know I do that? We live in a mean society, yeah. But don't you think the world would be amazing if, everybody just, was aware of the people around them and in their community? And that's why the Amish do so well. They help each other out. Could you imagine? And the reason they want us divided is because, for instance, the Amish, right? When they build a house or a shed or a barn or whatever, all the families in the area come together and they help each other out, right? And they're able to build that at such a low price because everyone chips in a little. Problem with society today, I think, is everyone wants to complain, but no one wants to chip in. But still, if everyone chips in, we could solve homelessness or anything. If we all just, chipped in. Could you imagine, not having to deal with the banks and you use fucking private equity and just, you're like, okay, guys, I'm going to build this house over here. This is how much the materials is. And you don't have to put in a labor cost because everyone's going to help out for a couple days. The house would be so inexpensive compared to other houses in the area. That'd be crazy. And what happens when it's not as expensive? You don't have to pay as much taxes. Why does everybody want more money? Why is everyone doing a freaking money grab right now? Is there's a shift or what? Of course, you mean because we live in a mean society. Demonstrate the society is mean. I really charged after people ran out and got that damn job. I noticed it making people nuts. Oh, the job, yeah. Road rage is up, yeah. What I thought was wild is like I said, they're trying to take away our means of communicating. They want us all to communicate, but they want to have their thumb on it. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people have strokes because of that too. It takes years and years and years to develop a vaccine. How come they're able to do it so quick and have so many millions of dosages if I think they had the vaccine honestly before it was even released. But that was just the first run, And the reason they did that, there's a lot of reasons, but one of them is they separated people. they ran out the suicide rates, that's for sure. Ever since that, the, what's that shit called? The separating from each other. Well, yeah, it started with like sports teams and shit, right? They're like, oh, I like the Niners. Oh, I like the Raiders. Well, fuck you, right? As an example. Or they're like, oh, I like Toyota. Or I like Ford. Oh, yeah, you like Chevy? Yeah, you're lame. And they're like, I got an Audi. Or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone likes different stuff and it's so competitive, like, they can't just enjoy the game. They just want the competition. And I feel like a lot of us are suckers because I think fucking football and all that's like a waste of time. And sports and all that. Like, how can you do business with someone that takes advantage of their fans when they're at the stadium and they already spend top dollar and they already spend the money to travel? They don't treat them with a refreshing beer. They don't like offer them one for a fair rate either. They charge as much as humanly possible for a beer. So they're exploiting people for their drinking problems and they're taking full advantage. They want to use the smallest cups and the biggest prices. And you're going to love that team? Why? Because of the city there? Why? Yeah, finish the roof. When I heard that, I didn't know. Yeah. Did you, the OWS? Like, what do you mean by the OWS? Yeah, so it's divide and conquer, right? They want to split us up because they can raise this up more, they can raise that up more. And guess what? You ain't gonna do nothing about it. Because we're all gonna be too distracted, doom scrolling or whatever. You know what's crazy? All these people, they march for Palestine, they march for this country, that country, whatever. How come Americans never march for their own nation and protested it, like, against, like, fentanyl or, you know, freaking homelessness and shit? Why didn't they, like, what's crazy is, like, I don't really know anywhere that the city or the county doesn't already have adequate vacancies that they could just move homeless into. But they don't have any programs because they haven't figured it out. The program is you have a place to stay, but at the door, I'm breathalyzing you, you know? As long as you don't have, like, you know, people using drugs while they're there at the, not shelter, but like, it's like a sanctuary, right? Disney Society, like the one in that movie, Equilibrium. Yeah, I probably haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched a lot of movies, honestly. I think that the homeless problem is a problem that was created to be perpetuated, not a problem that was created to ever have a solution. They, whoever created that is against America. And the reason I say it's created is because of all of the variables that consistently go into play, and the fact that there's so many hoops to jump through to help people out legally. Think about that. I would help them out, but there's too much bureaucracy. Or, like, I have to do all this paperwork and then this paperwork, and you know what I mean? And then by the time you do all this paperwork, the cops already round them up and send them to the next city or whatever. I mean, I think people need to heal. If they're homeless, they're probably afflicted. And so what I mean about healing, like, I think every city should have fucking shelters for abused women and single moms. And let's be real, if women had like a compound with like a playground and they could all like have I think it'd be a beautiful thing. Like if they could have their independence, but they could do it in a safe place, independently, to where they have fucking people there to serve them, not just check them off, right? But what's the goal? I mean, the goal is to help out one person, right? What is like, it's discouraging because I feel like the system should be like, okay, instead of demolishing that outdated elementary school, why don't you utilize it? Why don't you put the therapist there? Why don't you put the fucking psychiatrist or the psychologist or the whatever on staff? That's what they need. Why don't you do the skills fucking training? Have the people live there and have them contribute. A few people like, and they help cooking for the breakfast, lunch, and dinners. Then you have everyone does their own chores, or if it was like a common area, like everyone would like do the bathrooms or the toilets, and then you have someone else do the showers, and you have someone else do, right? I learned that through the fucking military, right? But it's hard to put a bunch of people together that are experiencing the same traumas and expect them to get along, right? Because they're combative. I'll catch you later. Much love. Thanks for stopping in. Does most of these protests orchestrated? What's crazy? Even if you had the greatest plan in the world, even if you had billions of dollars, you still couldn't do it. Even if you had a plan that worked, right? You wouldn't be able to do it. Because especially if it worked, they would stop you before you could do it. I don't think tiny homes are the answer. You know how they build these little sheds to try to house the freaking, like, homeless? I think that's fucked up because I was building them, and then I was like, oh, well, I should like, try it out. It's 4x8, right? Not much room. And I noticed in my journal that because of the lack of the natural lighting and stuff, it was taking a toll on my freaking, like, mental health. And it was crowded, and it was hard to keep up with. It was hard to keep clean. It was at such cram quarters. People need to move around. Like, you don't want people in boxes and shit. You know how to get people to take pride in their community is just give it to them. You have them, like, you give them opportunities to contribute. And if everyone's contributing, eventually they could be a self-sustaining group of people. But you don't want to be dependent on Costco and Amazon and all that shit. You know, they could learn gardening and that. And they can learn to grow their own food. What's crazy about being homeless is if you live outside, like, why you really think you're allowed to garden when you're home? Like, you're poor, you're the poorest of poor, and you're not allowed to plant seeds and have a harvest, even for personal food. You have to. They put you in a position where you have to depend on these agencies and shit. Fucked up. I know this would be great for homeless. Shit, I'm gonna make shift room in the garage next to my mom. That's cool. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I talk like that to my bosses sometimes, and they're like, "Why do you care about the homeless still? Like, you're not homeless anymore. Like, when are you ever gonna stop caring? Like, you don't want to associate with that." Oh, wow. I just don't think people should suffer for no good reason. Especially if you live in a place like Truckee where everyone's literally got so much fucking money, If everyone chipped in a very tiny bit, and they had people that weren't gonna squander the funds, like, that has experience and knows what's needed. Put a bunch of unstable people in an area, and they're gonna garrison themselves, or they're gonna, like, police themselves. You don't need security and all that. They shouldn't leave them behind, bro. Exactly. No, it's getting ridiculous. People. Uh, is they want to have control on the food. There's all these different things they can have control over. But if you want to control the people, the masses, if you want to control 300 or however many millions of people are here, you, you do that by controlling the food. No, as how like look at the famines and like what happens. Like people are malnourished and they get sicker. They die. I think every American. I think I think there's enough money. There's enough GDP that every American should be able to have 3 meals a day. And I don't think food stamps is the answer. I think every family has its own individual like needs. But there shouldn't be any women that are experiencing domestic violence. There shouldn't be a single woman that there isn't a place that they should be able to go to have a safe place or someone's daughter, you know? And usually everyone's, answer is like, well, make the laws tougher. Do you think if they made laws tougher, do you not think there would still be domestic violence? There's still gonna be domestic violence. And like, was super tough. Yeah, I mean, and that goes back to safety, right? So I think safety is important. I think that people should have the opportunity to be safe. And Americans should have the right to pursue, like, happiness. And they can't do that if they're struggling. And we should help them be in a better state of mind. And it'd be nice if we could change the face of, homelessness. And we could learn to treat them like their own family. Like, would you let your own kid to be on the street? And the reason they're on the streets is because they don't have jurisdiction. They don't have permission. They don't have the means to not be on the street. And what's crazy is like they're right outside of like abandoned buildings and shit. And they blame the failing economy on the homeless. No, like the homeless are a product of a failing economy and a decline of mental health. And the reason I think there's a decline in the mental health is because I believe that America is all about its pharmaceutical companies. And you put someone with behavioral health issues with certain meds, and then you shut off their Medi-Cal, and then they can't go buy those meds for $1,200. And then what? They go cold turkey, and then they go crazy. Safety is important. The Second Amendment, very important. And more we need to learn how to use one. This is coming. It's gonna be hard. It's already happening. It's already worse than we know. The thing is each and every city and state, they cover it up by not reporting crime. So I could see this, like, I could see something happen and they're just like, oh, well, that's just gang activity, or that's just, fucking homeless people, blah, blah. And then the people that prey on them, the law enforcement shouldn't be used to prey on homeless people. They're there to protect and serve. They're there to like provide a service. And how is it keeping them safe taking their shelters? Give them a jurisdiction. If you're a town or a county or whatever, you would only need like a few acres, even in a big city, and have it managed. And you'd save so much money from, cops having to respond. And you'd make money by them not being on the streets. Businesses could, operate more efficiently. Like San Francisco used to be beautiful and already happening. Yeah. We only have 230 people that live here, but the town has a lot of homeless, or what? I don't know. What upsets me is when the cities can pay like $250,000 for an art freaking installation, but they can't. What pissed me off most is that the money was there and it disappeared. Like during COVID, I was homeless during COVID, and during the Dixie and the fucking Caldor fire, and I could barely breathe. And even then, I didn't have a safe place to go. I was exposed to the smoke from the wildfires 24/7. You guys think that was good for my health? And like, there's places I could have went and I could have like kept a low profile. But there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. And nobody can give you permission to do that because of this or that, Yeah. But I am the experiment of trying to figure out how to fix homelessness. I mean, this is all an experiment that I'm doing so I can learn and document like step by step how I did it. So where if there's people that aren't broken light bulbs, then they should be able to have an opportunity to work. and you can't get the opportunity to work, if you don't have a safe place to sleep and you're always in survival mode, you can't be an employee. You know? You gotta be able to verify some crazy ass stuff in there. Yeah, it was. Like, you know that fucking plane crash from 3 years ago? That plane almost, that plane almost fucking hit me. And I, I ran up on it and I tried to like get to the airplane, and I could, I, I couldn't get to the door or anything because I was a fireball and it was so hot. I couldn't even get close. And then the flame shot up above the telephone pole. Of course, I backed up. I tried to go again, fucking when the flame died down a little, and there was nothing I could do. Like, it kept exploding. And I was there doing all that shit, and all I see is people with their phones out. And it made me fucking realize, like, when shit goes down or whatever, like, we can't expect someone to come save us. I mean, we're all gonna be responsible. We all gotta be responsible for ourselves and our own family safety, right? A small town, 30 miles from a city. Oh yeah, it's a big city. You know, during the Caldor fire, they had cops from Sacramento and Roseville and shit patrolling the areas that were evacuated down in South Lake and shit. And they came to Truckee. And they were getting drunk. And I didn't know. I didn't know the group of like 20 people were cops, but fucking one of the cops was taking a piss in front of this, like, in the street. I called him out, and we got in a fight. And I punched him in the face. But then he beat the shit out of me because he was like huge and really strong. And the cops got there, and the cops arrested him. You know? It's crazy the people that they send to protect you are like people that it seems like, you know, more often than not that they, you know, fucking escalate things. Well, that's sad. Yeah. And you know, there could be like a dude beating up a girl and like no one's gonna go stop it anymore. They're just gonna go jump in their Tesla and go drive to their second home. And then they're gonna go talk about it on Nextdoor. I was there, I saw it. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's hard to get control on any of our lives because we're all running the rat race right now. And it's scary because if the prices of everything just keep going up like they are, like, when are you ever going to be able to retire? What's your retirement going to look like? we make like almost 200, like 160, 170,000 between us two, and that's really good money. And I don't understand like why I'm renting for 3,000. In Tennessee, you could get a mansion for $3,000 a month. Like, it makes me want to like be homeless again and stack up money, but for what? Everything's far out of reach. Like, yeah, you might be able to afford the fucking mortgage on your house, but can you pay the property taxes that go up all the time? Can you pay the insurances that you need? And that's my dilemma is, um, more scary because I'm, that's funny. Do you have kids? Dang, my house payment is $760. Yeah, my 3-bedroom, 3-bath house here is 3,000. Like basically, you take a bedroom and it's 1,000. So if you get 2 bedrooms, well, actually no, it doesn't work out like that. A 1-bedroom here is like 1,800 to 2,500. 2 bedrooms, 2,200 to like $3,000 or so. 3 bedrooms like 28 to 3,500. That's true, yeah. It's a wake-up call, what they're doing to the fucking hillbillies that were affected by the hurricanes. They won't even let them put up the tiny houses in some counties. That's fucked up. There's a health and safety, I have 4-bedroom, 2-bath, almost half acre. For how much? 760. Fuck you, bro. Just kidding. Remember that meme? It's like, you better pay attention in school and go to college and get a good job. And you can live. And if you don't, and if you drop out, you'll end up living in a van by the river. Now people go to college, end up in debt, and then if they're lucky, they can live in a van by the river. Well, that's neat. Yeah, so like my mom actually was the first woman real estate broker in the state of Tennessee, and she owned hundreds of houses and apartment, like, freaking duplexes. And she rented to the soldiers, like, 1 or 2 bedrooms, right? Like, freaking duplexes. And their rent was $300 a month. And I know because I used to collect it. It's a greed, man. It's like so greedy. Everyone wants to pay you as little as possible for your services. Oh shit. That's cool. So what do like you have to work, like, Melody? Or does your mom work or what? Do they pay pretty good there? Yeah, I was gonna move there, but I was like, what am I gonna do if I can work at a lumber mill or something? Other than there's those little stores there. But like honestly, like I didn't see a lot of opportunity without having to drive to Reno. That's the thing, man, is like the fact we can even put a price on our hour of time is crazy. Do you want to hear something crazy? Think about it like this, guys. You, like back in the day, they're slaves, right? And the plantation owners had to provide water and shelter and food. And they would work in the fields. And then they would go to their shelter and they'd eat and they go to bed. And they do it again. And there's this guy, Dr. Lynch, and he had all these fucking, psychological ways of going about this. And now we work all day to pay for our shelter, food, and water. So make that make sense. Yeah. Yeah, let them work and we'll give them fucking paper currency and we'll make them think that they're earning and they can go buy whatever they want. But you can't just go buy whatever you want. You have to pay for your bills. What kind of disability, if you don't mind me asking? Like a physical or like a mental? What happened? Was it something that you were born with, or was it something that happened to you? Yeah, that's wild. Your mom's 70 and I'm disabled trying to get better. So is that something that like recently happened to you? Heal and focus. Yeah, I'm trying to heal and focus too. It's hard to focus when we're running the fucking like the rat races, right? That's horrible. Vehicle Scott wrecked us too. So he got in a horrible car accident. That's not good. And you don't have any friends. That's really gotta contribute to things. Degenerate disc disease. Yep, 2 to be exact. Arthritis is spreading fast in my body. It's working on top of injuries. Yeah, I get injured a lot. Now I can get a 3-hour nap. Hold on, set my alarm. My alarm's set for 3 hours from now. Over and over. That's horrible. Oh, they're hanging out though. My last friend passed away in September. Oh, that sounds sad. You can always use me as a reference. All my friends were fake family. Sounds like are we all related or something? Is that why we're clicking? Mm. My stomach's like fucked up right now. I shouldn't eat that Cool Whip. Here. I'll be your friend. You guys can take that number and God's not gonna over. What do you mean? I have to see Dr. Kemp. Oh, the stud muffin. If he wants my job. And Duncan Chucky. A local spot. Yeah, for sure. We could do that. Oh, really? Hey, freaking Melody, did you see the poll? I think, yeah, that's it. I want to delete that. Did you get it? Yeah. Bro, I almost quit YouTube a few different times. Okay. Oh, shit. No. Oops, I fucked that up. Everyone spam the chat. I was supposed to hit the other button. Oops. That sucks. Something's wrong. Holy shit. I've been in town 6 years. It's a long time, dude. Yeah, we could do something like that. Okay. Yep. Let's do it.